to another episode of Memphis on the Mark. Today, my special guest is Curtis Jackson. Hey, Curtis.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is great. You are a stage actor. You have done TV,
Yes.
a little film,
A little film.
and all sorts of things. You've done both in Memphis, LA, and in Minnesota, which we'll talk
Yes.
about. Let's dive in. You were on an episode of The X-Files.
Yes.
What was that about? What was your character?
It was called Ex-Cop. It was a spoof on cops. And basically what it was, the fear monster was killing people. People, they would have these fits, whatever they were afraid of.
Right.
Would kill them. But I lived. I played a gay couple as Edie. Mm-hmm. And we lived. And it was just so much fun.
That was nice. That was season 7 we were talking earlier?
I think so, yes.
Season 7. Now, how'd you get cast on that?
I just auditioned, and I was up against Uncle Phil and Huggy Bear, which is Antonio Farga. So
Right.
they were known, and it was me and this guy BJ, and I went, I'm not gonna get it. I'm up against Antonio Farga.
Yeah.
I'm not. I looked up to him.
Sure, Huggy Bear. Who doesn't?
And then I think it took him about 2 weeks to cast it. And then my agent and them came down to where I was working. I was working at Starbucks part-time.
Right.
And they came down and had everybody call me Edie, and I went, what? And then I saw them and they pulled down the paper and they went, you got it.
Nice.
And so it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
How many days were you on the set?
5.
Really?
I was there for 5 days. And my claim to fame was that I made Mulder laugh.
Nice.
Because David Duchovny, because he never laughed. He gave a little smirk or something like that.
Sure.
But he was doing an out-and-out belly laugh.
Nice.
And I got to sing.
That's right.
I sing as if I didn't care, so.
I remember that was a big episode because everybody in Memphis was like, "Oh my gosh, Curtis is on the X-Files! Curtis is on the X-Files!" It was on Sunday night, either Friday or Sunday nights.
One of them.
Yeah, I think it had moved to Sunday nights by then.
And and I was in LA watching it by myself. All these friends of mine had this watch parties, and I went, "Okay, I'll be over in a little while. Okay, I'll be over in a minute." And then I like to watch movies or whatever. If I'm in, I like to watch it by myself.
Right.
Because I don't watch the dailies. I'm my own worst critic. So if a director likes what I'm doing, I tell them, don't show me the dailies. Don't let me see it. Because if you like it, because if I see it, I'm going to change it.
Oh, wow.
Because I know and I'll fight not to, but I know I'll be changing something. So I just go, don't let me see it.
Well,
And then
if the director's happy, then...
if they're happy, because it's for them. And then most times I get to watch it with the director before it's shown.
Nice, nice. Now, you've done a lot of theater.
Yes.
And you were telling earlier, you were the oldest, you have the claim to fame of being the oldest intern at Playhouse.
Jackie Nichols loved to tell that story, that I was the oldest intern he has ever hired.
Wow.
I didn't go to school until I was 26. I was a music major.
Okay.
The thing that got me started in theater was a children's show. I worked with a theater company that did Peter Pan, before Peter Pan's, Disney started doing stuff. Peter Pan would send them a synopsis, they would write a script, of course, copy the movie, and we would do it. And so I got to be in Robin Hood, and I was in the ensemble, and I was a fox. But it was the thing that I got to do. I was singing, I was dancing, and that's when I fell in love with theater. So I was 26 when I started theater.
Because were you a business major?
No, I was a music major.
A music major, okay. Gotcha.
Business minor.
That's like, because you said business earlier.
Yeah, music major, business minor.
And so you came to Memphis as an intern, and you're 26 and you're living in the intern house. With how old are those people? Like 20, 21, 22?
20, 21, 22. Living with all them and going, what am I doing? But
I bet.
It was fun. It was fun. Because we were all on the same level. Because I had just finished school myself. So.
Right. What were some of the shows you did back, and when was this?
This was in 88.
Okay.
From 88 to 89, I was an intern, and from 89 till about 91, 92, I was a company member.
You were a company member. And what were some of the plays you were in?
The Colored Museum, Driving Miss Daisy.
Now, what part did you play in that show?
The Colored Museum is
No, Driving Miss Daisy.
Driving Miss Daisy. Miss Daisy.
You were Miss Daisy.
Yeah.
You were Driving Miss Curtis, right?
Of course.
That's what I thought.
I played Hulk, and it was fun. It was. I did fences. I did piano lesson. It was just a lot of shows.
You and Mark Chambers were in a show together.
Oh, we did Rocky Horror. We did the first installment of Rocky Horror.
Right.
In the early 90s.
Right, and you played...
I played Riff Raff.
Wow. And that was in the old Circuit Playhouse.
Yes. I played Riff Raff, and a young lady by the name of Donna Stovall played Magenta. Okay. And we were the same height. And at one time I was skinny, and we were the same size. And the funny thing was, she never came in from the costume chain for costume fitting because we were the same size.
Wow.
And so I did all the costume fitting.
Nice.
So
saved her a little extra, a few days.
She didn't. She came in for the final fitting to make sure it all fit, but the initial stuff, I did it all.
Wow. Now, I was not in Memphis in 1990 when y'all, the first showing. I saw the second incarnation of that in 1997 with Mark Chambers.
And I was in LA.
You were in Los Angeles then doing TV and movies.
Yes. And I worked at, I did a show with Gary Marshall's theater, which was the Falcon Theater.
Okay.
And I worked at Pacific Residence, which was this theater set up from the original members were all character actors, were James Cromwell.
Oh, wow.
Stuff like that. They in that group, and they started this theater, so I got to work with them and got to meet them. So just doing a lot, doing this much. I originally was supposed to be there for 10 years. I went
in Los Angeles?
Yes, I said I'm going to Los Angeles because I'm a Southerner.
Sure.
And home is anywhere east of the Mississippi.
Right.
And so I said I'm gonna be there for 10 years, and then I'm gonna be based in the South. And I ended up staying 14. And then one morning I went, it's time to go home.
Sure. Okay. When you know, you know.
Yes.
Now you also spent some time in Minnesota, you were saying.
Yes. I did the national tour of Driving Miss Daisy. That was about 2.5 years. And it was based out of Minneapolis. A production company there called Troop America. They put the play up there for about 6 months to a year. And it was picked up by Big League Theatrics to go out on tour.
So where did you tour? What sort of cities?
Everywhere. It was low road. And
what does that mean?
B tour. It was, we bus and truck. First of all, we had a truck and a van, and they paid us extra to drive ourselves, which turns out to be so much fun. The TD and the stage manager were in the truck. All the actors were, and the company manager was in the van, and we took turns driving. And I got to see the world's largest ball of twine.
Nice.
I got to be at the Grand Canyon at sunrise, and so and all the time during the tour. And we went.
And so you were making money and doing what you love, theater, and seeing America.
Yes, and we went back and forth. Wyoming. I was in Pinedale, Wyoming. You never heard of that one?
Never heard of it until now. Kids, look up Pinedale, Wyoming.
And I was Georgia, Florida. We just went back and forth.
What size theaters were you doing?
They could be anywhere from the high school to a refurbished theater.
Like a Playhouse?
Yeah, like the Memphian.
Like the Memphian, sure.
Yeah.
Memphian is now the Circuit Playhouse.
Yeah, and then or the Orpheum. It could be any.
No, something as big as the Orpheum.
Yeah, we went to everything. It could be anywhere.
How big is the theater in Pineville, Wyoming?
It was the high school.
High school.
My dressing room was the art classroom.
Really?
Yes. They go, here's your dressing room, and I'm looking around and go, well, nice art.
Yeah, and if you want to, here's some clay to work with in between.
So there was, and one place we did it in a lecture room.
Oh, really?
And my dressing room was a broom closet. They took everything out the closet and let me in.
and that's about the size of my apartment in New York.
Yes. So it was fun, and I loved it. And the thing I love about it is that they first of all, they love it. They appreciate you there because big companies don't come there.
Right.
And so they love when you're
Sure.
there. And on a small scale, I knew what stars felt like because they were like, some places I never spent a dime. Every time I walked in, oh, it's taken care of. Oh, let me buy you a drink.
Really?
Oh, do this. We went to a company town, which was on the border between Canada and Michigan. And this town was built for a company.
Sure.
And they had 400 people in the town. And we were there for 4 days. And I'm going, why are we here for 4 days? Half the town came one night and the other half worked. And then they switched and came the next night. And then they had a huge party to thank us for coming.
Wow.
And
That is like, you're like royalty in the acting world for them.
yes, and it was wonderful. And we would, I think the years we did it, we were the second or the third top grossing tour.
Oh,
And
really?
that was up against Phantom of the Opera and
Sure.
Les Mis. And
Oh,
we
wow.
were third.
That's all right.
So
And you
it
were
was-
playing in smaller venues.
Yeah.
Than
We were
those-
doing more.
doing more.
But it was wonderful.
That sounds like a great way to see the world. If you're an actor doing what you want, you're not quite up in the A league. You may be playing like double A ball.
Yes.
Or single A, but you're having the fun.
And I got to do it in my hometown of Baton Rouge and at LSU. And so all of my family and friends, high school friends I hadn't seen in years, they all came out to see it. And that was fantastic.
And that play obviously is not a huge set.
No.
I mean, a lot of the movie and the show is in a car. And so
Yeah.
you're in
Yeah.
maybe two folding chairs. I don't know.
No, it's two stools.
Two stools.
They set up two stools. The original production I did here is the two stools, a chair, and a lamp, and I think and a table.
Okay.
When I did it on tour, it was a sofa, a chair, a lamp, and they had a staircase. You saw her come up and down the steps.
Gotcha.
And it would vary because some theaters we couldn't get all of the set in.
Right. Well, that lecture hall. Or
Right. The lecture hall was a sofa, a chair, and a lamp.
Gotcha.
And we had to be careful that we didn't, because it was, the shiny floors that's real slippery.
Oh, sure.
And so it's like if you're walking fast, it's like, okay, had to take your time and walk in. So it was all fun.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you're back in Memphis. You have done recently a slew of short films.
Yes.
I know you're in Mateo's movie.
We Go On.
We Go On.
I did Patrick and Soul Man.
Soul Man.
I did Life After Death. I did a student film that I'm not sure the name of.
Okay.
So and they've been pretty good, and I've enjoyed them.
Oh, sure.
I love them. And,
Well, I've seen Soul Man. I've seen Patrick, and I've seen We Go On.
Yes.
Great films, all very different.
Good.
Very different. Yeah, you don't want to be typecast. I mean, it's very different characters. It's amazing. And Memphis, I mean, I make short films. I need to get you in one of my short films.
Okay.
Or one of my movies. I'm working on a feature script right now.
Good.
Memphis is a great place to make movies.
Yes. Yes, it's a wonderful place. I came back to Memphis because I was in New Orleans for 2 years. I came back to Memphis because a city its size, and with everything that they're going through, they support the arts. Movies, theater, dance, visual art, bands. And it's so wonderful to be in such a creative city and that supports you.
Right.
And I had to come. And after being here, it's like home. So it's like, okay, I'm going back to my second home.
Sure.
So that's why I had to come back.
Yeah. Well, Memphis does support the arts.
Yes.
It really does. We've got some TV shows here.
Yeah.
And Graceland is making movies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've got the range of short films and TV and possibly big movies. Yeah, it's a lot going on.
And that's the wonderful thing about it.
It is a wonderful thing. Now, you're back at Playhouse.
At Playhouse, I'm a company member this year.
Wow.
So.
Does that happen a lot? Someone comes and goes? Are you?
Yeah. And some come and stay. And
Right.
The one thing about Playhouse that I love is that it's home. You always welcome back. And I kept in touch with people while I was gone, and when I came back, it felt like I didn't leave. And the people, it was people here I didn't know, and they went, "Oh, I know who you are."
Sure.
It was just
Everyone knows
wonderful.
who you are.
And it's wonderful. It's like homecoming. It was really a homecoming.
What's it like from going to working at the old circuit on Poplar to being in this new playhouse on the square?
I had to get used to it. I love the new playhouse on the square, but I had to get used to it because I liked my playhouse, the old circuit,
Sure.
and then my circuit, the old Evergreen, and I loved that stage.
Yes.
So it's a lot of memories, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, and I say new, it's probably 6 or 7 years old now, maybe more, maybe 8 or 9. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But it's been around now easily 5 or 6
Yeah,
years.
it's old hat to everyone.
Yeah, now we all go to Playhouse and we all enjoy it. Yeah, it's amazing. Do you do any writing?
No. I tried my hand at writing, and I felt, I'm going to let other people do that, and I'll just say their words.
Okay.
Because I wrote a one-man show, and I didn't particularly care for it. But like I said, I'm my own worst critic.
Sure, we all
And
are.
I didn't particularly care for it. It was called Miss Minerva. It was about my grandmother, because she's the one who, spiritual and stuff like that I do, it all is from her.
Okay.
So it was about her. So I wrote it. I felt really good about it, and then I was through.
All right. In closing, I have a question. Were you in town when Jerry Dye was in Rocky Horror?
Not in Rocky Horror. I wasn't here for that. That was, like I said, I think that was 97, and I was...
Well, no, Jerry Dye did it more recently. He did it in the new Playhouse.
Oh, yes, I did. I did come back to see that.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw it.
And
I saw that one.
he did because I remember seeing Mark Chambers in 1997, and then when was that? Probably 2014, 2013?
Something like that.
He did a very good take. And I thought it'd be interesting if we could get Mark Chambers over here and Jerry Dye over here and let them do sort of a Frankenfurter face-off and how that would work out.
It would, but it's because they're so different. They both did their own interpretation.
Which is important.
That they would both win because
Yes.
they both are good.
They were excellent. I just think it would be interesting to see them on the same stage.
I think they should do the role together and just watch them do it.
Oh my gosh, I would pay
Just
serious
watch
money
them
to do
it.
that.
I think that would be the best
I'd
thing.
pay serious money to watch Jerry Dye and Mark read the phone book.
Yes.
So,
yes, very much so.
But I would pay good money to see them on stage together as Frankenfurter in different variations.
That would be wonderful.
That really would be wonderful. All right, well, I'm going to do a little thing we call Moments with Mark.
Okay.
And I'll just do that for a second, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Hello, and welcome to another little thing we call Moments with Mark. Today is very simple. We're having an election soon, and we'll have a mayor in January get sworn in. And so I'd like to see the mayor and Jason Wexler. Jason runs the FedEx Forum. I think he's the head guy in charge. If not, he can call me and tell me otherwise. He may call me and say, hey, stop talking about me on your little 2-bit show. But I'd like to see the mayor in January and Jason Wexler have a press conference in FedEx Forum in kind of a JFK style and say, in this decade, Memphis and the FedEx Forum, we're going to host the NBA All-Star Game and the Women's Final Four in the Forum. Now, one thing it takes hotel rooms, and it takes a really spiffed up FedEx Forum. So it's a joint effort. But by 2023, 2024, Memphis will have enough hotel rooms just downtown between the two bridges, the river, and Dane Thomas. We'll have almost 4,000 or 5,000 hotel rooms, I think, downtown. And the Forum will be in good shape. So there's no reason, and not to mention all the hotel rooms in the rest of the city and down in Tunica, but there's no reason why FedEx Forum in Memphis can't host both NBA All-Star Game and the Women's Final Four, and heck, maybe even a Bruce Springsteen concert in the next decade. So I'd like to see a press conference, whoever the mayor is, Mr. Wexler, let's do it. Let's make that a goal for the 2020s. Curtis, thank you so much for being on my show.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it. All right.